12x, JC. Voila. Rocco Monday. T is close enough to R. I'll give that to you. Long time no see. Yeah, we've taken a couple days. Oop. I didn't expect that crossbar, I'm not gonna lie. Thought that was gonna bounce. Sorry, the Musty video? I still don't remember that Musty video. I'm gonna have to look it up. Was it like a short or was it like a video? Oh boy. Okay, that works. About the Rocket League Reloaded video? Oh. I remember hearing about that. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what I'm involved with it, in what capacity. Finally got me to read something. I mean, I'm honored that I was in a list of creators. I don't think I'm that big of a person to get a reaction from. But Mus has been cool. He's come through chat before and like offered me challenges or something. He's a friendly dude from whenever I met him at LANs. I'm alive. Good here, Skugga. We all like to be alive. An ideal outcome for a day. Disagree, you're the biggest? I gotta revise, I've been working a lot of remote data annotation lately, but I'm trying to find the time to finish scripting out a video that I think has the potential to be a banger. But unfortunately, yeah, it's still in the planning arc. Just trying to make it succinct while still be entertaining. This is a kind of a contentious game, I'm not gonna lie, chat. Alright, that's a huge touch. Okay, we're good. All right, that's a good pinch. That's gonna go right in, actually. Yeah, I got it close enough. Okay, I actually didn't want to flip at that, but I guess that works. I was considering attacking that a bit more aggressively, but didn't want to risk getting outplayed on that one. No, go. Not fast enough. How long does that timeout take? I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, if I timed you out from chat, it's depending on how long I time you out. Yeah, it's not just like a universal timeout. How's job search going? Not great. I got a response from one job where they just asked to just clarify some things on my skills section. And what my salary would be. And I gave them an answer, and I've not heard back, so don't know if that was insufficient or they're just taking their time to like evaluate other candidates before maybe like going further. No, that's a shame. No more boost. Mad L called off today. Good. Did you enjoy your day off? What's this monthly top clips and why is Shaq the first one? Yeah, it's like, I guess that's the new thing Twitch is introducing to incentivize people to clip more, which I don't necessarily mind, although clips don't really do anything in my opinion unless people post them somewhere, you know? I've had a couple people post something. I said the other day, I said something about my twos teammate having the smallest penis I've ever seen. And I know they, ooh, chat. Wow, that clip is gonna have really weird audio to start, but. No bounce either on that one? Oh, they approach on it. Yeah, but yeah. They, even my opponent's like, nice shot. Yeah, they might just be reviewing it. I specifically kind of did the Weenie Hut Jr. thing. I asked actually for under the salary because I think the job posting said for 60 to 65K, and I just said I'm down to take 50 because that was like the goal. But I don't know if they're down for that. I also don't know what level of experience they're expecting for this in terms of like, to be honest, it's a psychometrist job, so it'd basically be my job to assist someone with a doctorate who's evaluating patients. Like, hey, can you provide this person like a neurocog assessment, essentially seeing like, are they struggling with their spatial awareness? Are they struggling with their linguistic fluidity? Are they struggling with whatever? Give this teenager a RAT, a wide range achievement test, which is essentially like testing their academic ability and their ability to focus in like high stress environments and whatnot. And like, I have experience giving a lot of those tests, but I don't know if they need me to have like a massive suite. Because I told them straight up, like, I'm already trained as like a research psychologist. Like, if you need me to do any exam, I trust as long as you have a work booklet or the assessment booklet, which essentially teaches you like how to run the assessment, I can learn anything in a day or two. Like, I just need to know. I just need to know the booklet. And I told them that after I listed the huge thing of the huge amount of tests that I am comfortable running. So I'm kind of wondering if they read that and they're just like, oh, that's not enough people. I don't want to have you learn on the job. It's also like, I don't know, man. I gave them pretty wide risks. Based on stuff that I know this firm does, I'm like, I gave them all the basics of like what I would know how to do that would benefit them. That has to be it, right? Tej! He's so good! Nice. It didn't say on the listing the requirement. I mean, it did, but the thing is like, they're just like, you have to be ready. Basically, they just said, like, you have to be comfortable giving a wide range of assessments from, like, they're someone who probably they said personality assessment, so I'm assuming they mean something like, there's something called the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, which is, like, very popular to be used in, like, job screenings and also other, like, some vocational trainings. And so that type of firm would definitely want to specialize in that. And I've done that before, so I've listed that. And they also are like, oh, we want to do achievement tests, which I don't know as well, but I'm like, I've done the RAT before to test like adolescents to see like how they do in school and like how their like learning attaches to like different cohorts, because there's essentially subsampling in a lot of tests. So essentially when you give a test to someone for IQ, your IQ is based against a standard, but it's also an age cohort. So like when you're younger, like a higher IQ for like maybe an age cohort specifically sampled for people under the age of 18 is going to look way different than an age cohort for someone who's 40, you know? So like you have to understand how to score these all these different metrics based on what age they are. Sometimes they're like other background demographic information. But I know how to do all that. So I listed all the stuff that I'm like, a firm like this would most likely do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm just hoping they're not also like, oh, you need to be able to do, they didn't list this, but they're like, oh, you also need to know like autism assessments and whatnot. And I'm like, well, I've never done that, so. Bonk. Sorry, I was actually gonna scoop that all. I got a reset on that. I didn't see that. Did a car drive into your house or in front of your house? Is that not? What, the car itself was one of the craziest things? I'm confused. Yeah, Jed, you're gonna have to get back to goal, please. Thank you. Uh-oh, that's embarrassing. Through the front of the house into... Wait, what? You had a car drive through the front of your home? Well, I'm sorry about your living room, but congrats on the massive home insurance check hopefully you're about to get. Jeez, dude. Was it like a drunk driver or was it just like someone was unconscious? That's crazy. I'm sorry. Hopefully nothing was too important was damaged. Like the TV, or, you know, I guess kids. You say massive, JC, I will throw you directly into the sun. You will, the last thing you feel is the intense burn of solar radiation evaporating you into cosmic particles. My bad. Dude let his 8-year-old daughter, wait, how the frick? Bro really got out-muscled by his 8-year-old daughter? You're telling me? I've sat on my dad's lap when I was younger and he let me drive when I was like 4 or 5. But the thing is, he was always in control, you know? He was just the one like letting me like steer a little bit. But like he could always grab the wheel. Like what was he asleep? Hey, 8-year-old, drive me home real quick. That's crazy. Oh, that's Matt L's joke thing. I was about to say, I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, I'm just imagine getting out-muscled by your 8-year-old, trying to take the wheel back. She's like, no, I want to steer. And you're like, oh God, I can't get the grass. It's covered under his auto insurance. He's a 15K limit. Damages are estimated 80,000 because they're probably going to because they got a put the second story up while they replaced the framing on the first floor. Jeez, dude. Well, again, sorry about that. That's a huge inconvenience for many reasons. The thing that would get to me is the fact that now my house is just exposed to the outdoors, you know? It's like all that rain gets in, all that moisture, animals, insects. That would irritate me. Oh. That was not the touch I wanted. No, you missed. Never mind. Whoa, wait, what the? He hit that so weird. It looked like he was super wide. I didn't see this. I don't know why. It looked like he hit that like to the corner. I was like, damn, you really missed that. You just live in the corner and the only house to have road barriers in the front lawn. Honestly, I feel that. Now consider JC. My bad, cheater. I thought you had more boost. I literally just hung about to dry on that last one. Catch that. Nice, Jider. Excellent. Excellent, chat. Two's so easy. He said he reached down to his 4 and his foot slipped off the clutch. I don't believe him. I'm just saying, like, I've had that happen before where I'm like driving and I'll have my like foot on the gas. And I remember I was driving a U-Haul with my cats and they jumped up on my back because they were like scared because like we went over you know that construction, it's like really rough road and it goes from like the smooth sounds roads like to like that up and down. My cat got scared and jumped on my back and just clawed me. I went and I jammed the accelerator down and it made me wobble, but I was able to recover within like 2-3 seconds. And I'm just like, I don't know, like how do you reach down the floor for so long that you don't feel the whole car careening off the road? Like, I don't know. That seems like a lot. Unless your house is like very close to the road or something. Like you live in like a ground floor apartment maybe, but like if you have a yard or something, I don't know. Anyway, incredibly brutal thing to have to deal with. Oh, I forgot that he was demoed. I was like, I just gotta put it forward. What? Twice you got that. Damn, crit recovered by Jeter. I have no idea what this guy's name is. Are we going with Jeter, chat, or is it Jeter? I feel like it's meant to be Jeter. Being Riz Crackers. Yeah, that's what you all say. Oh, it meant to be Ritz. No, you meant Riz, JC. I know your brain rot. I've seen your ways. What? That was almost kind of the craziest double. Got in a video, his door was open when he fell out of the Jeep. It's pretty comical. Jesus. Well, thank God you have a video of it. Like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like when you have footage around your home, it's useless until you actually like need a usage for it. And you're like, all right. That's honestly why I need to keep remembering to set up my dash cam. Like I haven't driven that car in a bit because of repairs, but yeah, when I do want to repair that thing. I've seen infinite times where I remember my only time I've ever been in a formal accident was me backing out of a parking spot and then someone hit the accelerator while backing out of their spot and jumped in front of me. And then I was like, whoa, and I hit the brakes. But the problem is since they move out too fast, my back bumper hit the back wheel of their car. And so she's like, well, you hit me. And I'm just like, dude, come on. Like, you're the one that backed out at like Mach 7 speeds and then hit the brake. Like, you're the one who caused that. You jumped out in front of me. I backed out first. And she was like, well, unfortunately, there's no way to know because we don't have a dash cam. I'm just like, this is such bull. Like, so that in that moment, I remembered like why exactly a dash cam is useful. So I had to pay I think I was like, my insurance was like, yeah, that was 60% your fault or whatever. It was like what they came down to. So that was... So Jeter did not think he'd spike that straight down to me. That's in Fort. It was pure defeat. I mean, I'm sure that he'd have... I mean, even if you didn't, just taking a photo, it's kind of hard to be like, you didn't... Oh, this was set up. This was fraud. Like, it's probably like, hey, this is what it looks like. It's like, this is what it looks like. This is what you did. Thank God you have the camera, though. It's great. Putting a percentage on who's at fault. I think that's like how all insurance works. Like if there's an accident, you guys talk it through. If you have eyewitnesses, you can gather them. But since this was at like 7 a.m. and everyone was already at work or they were asleep, like we had no one in the parking lot who saw it. I asked for video footage, but unfortunately, like the security cameras in my apartment were above. So I lived in Arizona at the time. So a lot of parking lots will have covered parking because in Arizona, the sun hates you and wants you to die. So the camera was like situated in a place where you couldn't actually see like either of our cars. It was like showing the middle of the lot, but like the covers of the apartment were like not showing. So I couldn't ask for a tape because it didn't really do anything for either of us. I'm not gonna lie, this period guy is like pretty decent. Getting some good resets. It's not doing anything with him, but he's consistent with it. What? I don't even see him there. I didn't think you were home. That's even worse, bro. You're going to jail. That's you basically just ran in someone's house and said like, yeah, I would have driven away if you weren't here. Like, what? Then again, I think at that point he was just full panic mode, you know? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna get out of here. Insurance is a scam for the most part. I mean, yeah. But if I had my dash cam installed at Best Buy, if you don't want to do it yourself. No, it's not even installed. It's just like, I have one. Like, it's an older one. I'm probably gonna buy a new one eventually. But yeah, once my car is repaired, I think that's gonna be one of the first things I do. I don't trust I'm not gonna lie, I've had some of the scariest close calls here in Dallas, just driving around like my girlfriend's car or something. Fucking psychos, dude. Yeah, everyone says, oh, the drivers are terrible where I grew up. Oh, you don't know bad. I gotta say, Dallas drivers might be the worst I've ever experienced across multiple states. These people drive like legitimately mortality does not exist as a concept to them. Whoa, I phased right through that one. Car when I traveled to Texas. Everyone thought I was all calm there. You're like worse in California. They'll just like merge into a lane at full speed with no turn signal all the time. On top of the fact that like a lot of DFW, like especially West Dallas or East Dallas, there's like a lot of construction, but people will just drive just as fast and aggressive on, you know, like when construction closes lanes and they have to create like alternate ones that are like still going the same direction, but it's just like a little more cramped. They do that where like the lanes, instead of being like 1.25 the width of a normal car, are like basically exactly the width of your car. And cars are driving by you at like 85 miles an hour. And I'm like, buddy, we have to be careful. If one of you goes out of line, we're dead. And yet driving on that street genuinely feels like I'm on the Fury Road. Like I texted my girlfriend, I was picking her up from a place across in East Texas, and I was genuinely like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like I'm so sorry if I damage your car or whatever, but like, my God, I don't know if I'm gonna live through this. Like, I'm blown away by how aggressive everyone is here. Oh, good beat by Karma. He was a little close to that, admittedly, but. Oh, you want to take it, buddy? Ugh. That perfect sums up Texas, though. I mean, low-key. Oh, it's a clean touch, too. How you doing, Choco Flan? Left lane, locals only. Yep. Well, because Arizona's all desert, it's also really funny to like drive there because like basically the speed suggestion, there's barely any like major highways, especially country roads, that have like a speed limit. It's really just like as fast as it takes to get there in one piece. Like I've driven 110 miles an hour on a highway past a cop and didn't get pulled over. They do not care. Country roads, they do indeed take me home from time to time. I was hoping Jetta would recover by then. Because I telegraphed that one a bit. Maybe. How you doing, Zig? Oh. I should have made a goal. Messed up my first read a little bit. Bro. Frustrating money wheel in the brain rest? Ah, I'm sorry about that. What was happening that made it frustrating? Oh. Oh no. That's a shame. California just makes you pay tolls called the express lane. Well, Dallas also does that, which is irritating because with my car, I have a toll tag, which is essentially like they put $20 on it every time it goes to 0. They replenish it to like automatically to 20. And it's like, it costs you basically like $1 to use it every time you get on, which is kind of irritating. But it is infinitely faster than any other place. Yeah. So like, for example, to get to Dallas, if I just hop on my interstate and go south, it takes me like 15 minutes to get to the heart of Dallas. Whereas if you're using anything else, it's like 35 to 45 minutes. It's definitely one of those things. Because if the difference is 15 versus 25 minutes, I wouldn't really care that much about getting a toll tag. And for years I didn't. But like when you're trying to go just in a straight line somewhere, it's the difference between just being able to get on a highway and drive versus on like the side of the highway and you're driving like a mile and you hit a stoplight. And then you wait 3 minutes, and then you drive to the next stoplight and a mile later, and then you stop at another one, and then you do it again, and do it again, and do it again until you get to your destination. It's like, man, this takes so long. Especially because it charges you based on when you get on, from what I can tell on a lot of the highways. So if you get on at a certain exit or like an entrance or whatever, you just pay that, and then you can drive on it as long as you want until you get off. So it's kind of like, it's not like you keep getting charged, you just keep going through. Bass, thank you for the raid. How is your Bazaar journey? Taquito, Kev Dog. Bass audio low? Usually, yeah. Bonjour, everybody. This is my first stream in a couple days. Finally got one build going. Didn't they update the Bazaar, or am I imagining things? I could have sworn Bass, he tweeted something. It's some kind of update. Not bad, teammate. Oh. Sure! They added a new character and reworked their entire pay model. Let's go! Got my ship pushed in 3 runs straight, then finally got my build to work last run. Nice. I'm glad you're still enjoying the Bazaar. I feel like sometimes games like that really need like some feature to keep you going, otherwise you kind of figure it out, you know? And then you're just kind of like, this is boring. But I'm glad there's enough going on there that you're incentivized to continue. Also, I was doing a data annotation the other day, and one of the tasks was about what are the 3 busiest highways in the U.S., and it just listed 3 in Southern California. And I was just like, God damn, they ain't lying. But at the same time, like, it was a more nuanced than that, but it was just like, it is kind of crazy how SoCal is basically, one of them was like the interstate that goes like across the south, across like Arizona, New Mexico, and through Houston or whatever. It's like, I think that's the 405, or maybe I-10, one of those. But yeah, a lot of them were just like, oh, the ones that go through like San Diego and down to, or up to San Jose or whatever. Like those are like heavily trafficked, and I'm just like, damn. I know like other cities have some crazy stuff, but that's actually part of the reason I would never want to live in California. At least in SoCal. The weather's great, but I've never want to like live in California. I've never felt the desire to live there. Whoa. That's right, Tia Brogan. Not Brogan, he worked for Akron in Esports. I want to see if Don would turn for that, so I can bump him. Oh, sorry, apparently all my frames dropped. I have no idea if anyone talked to me about this. Sorry about that, chat. Yeah, 2,400 frames dropped. My internet hasn't been doing that lately. It'll just like spike for like about 15 seconds, then it'll come back. I don't know if any of you heard any of that, but whatever. Doesn't matter anything I say. This is stupid anyway. Everything's stupid. Oh, that's just not in. Okay. Yeah, that's. Well, wait, whoa. Wait, I jumped and it turned me. Did he bump me? What was that? I jumped and went this. I have no idea how. I didn't even hold it. I wish I had a control over that. You guys could see I did not hold it. Oh my god. Okay, well that one I just figure slipped. We did it just a little delayed now. Wait, what do you mean a little delayed? Like my audio isn't syncing? He still got the player crazy. Where's the doctor when I need him for the Portuguese translation? Hey, Lawler. Or Luke Lawler. It's all right. We've had probably the worst 3-week stretch of my entire life, but other than that, it's been pretty okay. Should be all rescue. We just gotta work 4 times harder than we've ever worked before. Because that's just how life is, chat, you know? Alrighty. There's one. Hopefully you're doing okay, Lucas. I always wanted to do as a child, but I feel like it's weird. I'm doing stuff I always wanted to do as a child, but it doesn't feel like I'm doing much or anything. I think it's just because all those activities as a kid that you're like, can't wait as an adult to blah, 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 blah. And then you do them as an adult, but they're not as satisfying because they're like just what you do day to day versus like a dream. It doesn't feel like you're accomplishing like a massive dream or something, you know? You don't get that wish fulfillment feeling from like the ordinary stuff that you can afford to do now. Afford it in terms of monetary or also just like access, you know? So, do you get emergency level stuff taken care of? Yes, a hilarious side thing to that. Check to make sure you always have all settings because I got all those donations in from you guys, which was very kind. Thank you so much. But my PayPal, I learned, rolls over at midnight. And so at the end of the 24-hour period, all things in my wallet get transferred the slow way. If anyone's ever used like PayPal or Venmo, they know you pay a small fee, like 1%, and you can get your money immediately, or you can wait like 3 to 5 business days or whatever, and then they'll get your money to you. So I didn't realize I had that setting on. So I got all that stuff and I needed to have it by the 7th. And I wake up to a notification at like 7 a.m. or like 7, 8 a.m. And they're just like, hey, by the way, that money won't come until the 8th. And I'm like, oh, and I started, that's the setting in PayPal. Yeah, I turned it on specifically because I forget sometimes. So I'm like, you turn on the pass just because I'm like, I don't need half the money immediately anyway. So like, just turn it on. Just put that in my bank account, it's fine. So that happened and I started freaking out because I'm like, without that, I cannot afford this bill. And I'm kind of boned without that. But luckily, a different invoice that was supposed to get paid out on the 9th got paid out on the 5th. For some reason, it jumped ahead. So I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to complain about that. Let's go. And after all that, I was able to have the money. But then, fun fact, I already detailed this to Bass. I had to pay my rent through something, because since it's a late payment, I had to do this thing where Walmart has a thing where it's not a money order. It's WIPS. It's like a walk-in payment system. It's essentially like you get a record number and then you pay Walmart to process it, and they send it through the system according to your ID number linked to your identity, and then it registers as a payment. It's basically just like so they can guarantee, here's my ID, this is me paying it, here's all my money, whatever. So anyway, they made me do that. I go to the store and it denies my card, and I'm like, okay, that's a security level thing probably. Like it's probably like, oh, it's $1,500 from a Walmart you've never been to, you know, for a bill payment we've never seen on your checking account. So that's fair. Let's make sure, you know, we don't do that. Like we will not approve it. So I go to my app and I don't see my debit card. I'm like, that's weird. So I click view card and it says there is no debit card linked to this checking account. And I'm like, what? And so I call Capital One and I'm like, what happened to my debit card? And they're like, oh, sir, see, you know, a couple days ago when you had a fraud alert come in for like a $2 purchase for like a subscription you didn't want? I'm like, yes. They're like, so you said, no, I don't recognize that. And I'm like, okay. They're like, so in order to take care of that, we de-linked your debit card from your checking. And I'm like, wait, because in the past, when that happened, PayPal would lock your card. And in order to unlock it, you'd log in, say, it's all good, and then you unlock it. But apparently in their new security age, they decided it's just safer to just fully erase all aspects of your debit card from their system. And so I had to call them, get put on hold, go through help for like 40 minutes. And then eventually they said, okay, we've unlocked your card again. Sorry about that. But then they reset all of my fraud account stuff. So I went to go pay my rent again, $1,500 to pay my rent, and it said, "Hey, did you authorize this payment?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then it goes, "Okay." And so I'm like, "All right." And I turn to the cashier again. I'm like, "I'm so sorry. Can we do that again?" And I go into use my card. It denies it again. And I just say, "Okay, fine. I'm just dealing with this later. Like, this is so irritating. This is so freaking irritating." So I leave the store, and I'm fuming in my car. I'm having a panic attack because I'm thinking, if Capital One is going to give me some nonsense, like, we need to send you a new card, it'll be there in like a week. Like, I'm boned. Like, what the hell? And so we then get in the car. 15, 20 minutes later, I get a text from Capital One saying, "Okay, you can use your card again now." I'm already home. I gotta get ready for the CRL National Championship. Like, what are we doing here? And then right as that text goes through, magically, Uber does its auto payment for like an Uber One purchase that I forgot to cancel, but it's only like $8 a month. Then I also get a auto payment for my Adobe licenses for my content editing. And so I'm like, okay, well, at least like now I can tell my card is working. Go to the store the next day, pay my rent, we're all good. But my God, when I tell you the amount of cortisol I exerted in those 48 hours. Because keep in mind, if I didn't pay that bill, I'm evicted. It's not just like, oh, you're gonna get a mark in your credit. Like, I am gone. Like, I cannot live there. So I was just like, that's why I was so freaking out. I was like, they literally give me a letter where they're like, "Hey, I know you emailed us saying like your invoice is coming on the 9th, supposedly, and that's when you can pay your rent. But if you don't pay it by the 4th, we're gonna evict you by the 7th. So get the hell out." I'm just like, so yeah, very stressful sequence of events. Would not recommend. Thank you so much for the donations. I'm definitely going to keep needing them in the future. So if anyone would very much like to donate or be generous, I would always accept that. But mainly just because I also learned in the past couple weeks that about $20,000 worth of gigs that I had last year will likely not exist this year. So my pay basically just got cut 33% across all of esports, which is very fun to think about. On top of the fact that another like $12,000 of that were from OG, who are paying me, and then they won't pay me. That's fine, because there's other team streams. Just kidding. There's actually not a single paid team stream that pays even close to 1/4 of my rate. Oh, but actually, wait, no, never mind. There's one. It's Kansas City Pioneers. What's that? They don't have a team? Okay, well, then I guess I don't have one anymore. Like, it's such a headache, dude. It's such a headache. Like, this sport is imploding on the tier 2 level, so... unfortunately, I understand that this basically means I have to launch myself into the stratosphere of content, which is not doable via Rocket League, or I basically have to just grind out data annotation and small gigs on the side, just doing everything to penny pinch, cut down all of my payments, live like a freaking hermit, and eventually we'll get back to sustainability. Evict after one late payment. That's what I'm saying. So when I was in Chicago, one time I wasn't able to pay because a similar situation. Hey, my prior to Adobe, yeah, I need to get around to that. Okay, hypothetically, I would never do that, Adobe. But they, yeah, back in Chicago, I had a similar situation where Austin, thank you for the 1999 super chat. Back in Chicago, I had a singular landlord. He was like this very nice man. He owned like 20 buildings across Chicago, but he always gave us pretty fair rent. And he was also very flexible in that if I ever was like, hey, my invoice is going to be late for this casting gig, I can't pay you until like the 7th. Is that good? He's like, dude, I don't care. Like, I know you're good for it. Whereas when you're dealing with a company, they're like, I don't give a fuck. I'll kill you myself. And it's just like, all right, Jesus. So it's like, there's less humanity in those companies because they genuinely just see like an open account. They do not care that I'm literally like, I can literally pay you. I just need like an extra day or two. They're like, I don't care. It's not paid. Therefore, like, I'm kicking you out. Also, fun fact, I would then have to find an apartment within a week. That also implies that I would have to do it with an eviction notice, you know? Like, it's just like, there's so much working against you in there. So yeah, I had a lot racing through my mind there. Late fees before eviction? Well, that's the thing. They did both. They assessed late fees and then they threatened eviction. I also give you an extra month to pay your dues. Yep. 13 minutes late, 24% supercharge. Yeah, mine was only 10%, I think. But I went to the leasing office and explained, and I will say the human I interacted with said, unfortunately, like all that higher level stuff is something I can't deal with, but I can remove all the late fees. So I'll just get you to pay your regular rent. And I'm like, thank you. So that saved me like $150. But other than that, yeah, like it was a lot. What are you yapping out? Why I was so stressed and why I haven't been streaming lately. Put through a loan or something. Well, that's also the thing, you know, like I would love to be able to take out loans, but like a lot of my early time in esports was like everything has been pretty smooth, but in the very beginning of these, when I went full time, was the end of the RLCS season basically, where I was making good money, but then there was about 6 months of no gig work, like at all. So I basically had like a massively reduced earning capacity. Hey, Bleach. But yeah, so that's why when people are just like, oh, well, you know, just get a job. And I'm like, that's exactly what I've been trying to do. I've been applying to everything in my field and that kind of work. So I'm applying to things outside my field. At this point, I'm just at a point where I'm like, I will love to take a retail job. The only difficulty is like, I'm trying to avoid things that require infrequent or on-demand weekend work, because as much as I wouldn't mind being like a delivery driver, since it beats you up your body, but it does tend to pay pretty decently if you're working for like a specific company or like a small distribution company. They require basically a lot of work on the weekends. And if I can't work, a lot of my gigs take place on weekends. Like if I can't work though, that's like hundreds of dollars, potentially thousands of dollars, like a month that I'm losing out on. So a lot of that, I'm trying to like find obviously like a nice approach to that, or a nice balance. You can barely afford to keep the Alpha Boost, bro. I wish I had Alpha Boost. I would love it to. $4,500 or whatever that was worth. That was I would have sold the crap out of it hypothetically. Psionics, I would never break TOS like that. But yeah, $4,500. That's like 3 months worth of rent for me. One job application I low-key have always wanted to try out. Everyone in my family is a salesperson. They're all very good at sales. So I feel like it has to be somewhat genetic, you know? There's a listing for a no experience necessary car salesman at a Nissan dealership 2 minutes away from me or whatever. And I'm like, low key, like, I've always wanted to try that. Not like I just apply and they give it to me, but I'm honestly just like, genetic charisma? I'd like to think so. Like all three of my, all three of the kids work in fields that are very much like force of personality type jobs. Car salesmen make good money. I mean, they said the base salary is $60K, and I think they just have they said super aggressive commission system. So I'm like, honestly, I would love. I remember going over to my friend's house. His dad was a car salesman. That man was rolling in cash, but he was also a very charming dude. So I'd have to brush up on probably some car knowledge, but I trust myself to be able to sell people anything. Nice. How much does it cost to exist? Depends on what you're doing. Think I made a great salesman? Thank you, buddy. You saw me on watching the stream? Hey. That's what I'm saying. I've always wanted to try being a car salesman. I feel like that'd be a fun experience. I just wish like I could do in-person stuff. Like I miss the days where like, this sounds really old, but like legitimately in my hometown, I remember you could get jobs by just walking in and being like, hey, I heard you're hiring. Can I talk to you about that job? And you could just sense like talking to the person like, oh yeah, this guy seems pretty chill. And I feel like it's like if I could just talk. I've never failed to get a job or a grad school thing after an in-person interview. I've always been very good at nailing my interviews. So I'm like, if I could just get like a one-on-one with the hiring manager, I feel like I could convince them, you know, like, hey, we're looking for no experience necessary. You know, you're a public speaker, you know the business, you know the marketing of it. Like, Cool. Preston, you do band? I didn't know that. What save? If you threw that immediately, that was a goal. Cost me about 30,000 a month to exist. Yep, that's pretty much where I'm at. I think my all my costs collectively a month is $3,000. Hilariously, we are 1 cent short, so we're at 20. Score a goal and I'll sub. No, I'm good. If it takes me scoring for you to sub, then you don't like the stream, and therefore I don't want your sub. You guys are scaring me with the future. Slot, not to be that guy, but you should be very scared for the future. Like I'm not even being dead ass. Like, I'm not trying to be a doomer. Like, this is by far like one of the roughest times to grow up, I feel like. Pay it forward, make connections, build skills. Don't go to school unless you actually absolutely are going there for a direct purpose and or on scholarship and or you have a good financial aid package with the ability to get internships. When you go to colleges, ask what connections they have with local businesses with internships and connections. That'll get you a job way more than your degree will. Musty! What was the song you just played? I have no idea, Caleb. Caleb, thank you for the $1 to put us over 20. Thank you. How you doing, Caleb? I started homeschooling. Yeah, people always want to homeschool, but they never want to home college, chat. Tired, my dude? Felt. Really? He just accepted his fate. Interesting. Go get back. Done with the major project? Nice. What's the project, if you don't mind me asking? Oh! Team spawn, play the touch, play the touch, play the touch. Nice. That works. Ah, man, he hit me. Ivy Tech Community College? Damn, they just threw all the fancy words into that college. Sure. I go to Ivy Tech Prestige University worldwide. Oh, damn. I'm also supporting my family also. Gestures broadly to his Funko Pops. Oh. That's kind of funny. I can't even get to community without like 5 hurdles to jump through. Yep. What rank you? This is GC 2-ish right now. We all missed, yep. I flipped too early, dude. Nice. I didn't want to take that off of him, but I was like, eh. Don't make it water powered. Shell will make you disappear. Yeah, Shell will definitely disappear anybody who threatens the price of gas and oil. Hey, Rock Bro. Reddles being kicked from Genji. Reddles is potentially getting kicked. I made a graphic online of Captain America Civil War, and I made Chris Evans' face Reddles and Genji Iron Man. I thought that was a pretty solid meme. Got to lock in for a paper. Good luck on games. Thank you, Turret. Peace, peace. Don't shoot that. Oops. I don't think he'd catch up to me. He's moving kind of slow. Own goal it. Coward. No, dude. He was going really slow on that. I'm like, I think he's probably just gonna have to give it away, and he kind of did. Oh boy. No, necrotic. That's rough. Honestly, teammate should not have gone for that, but I was trying to hit it behind necrotic. Talking from experience, instead of buying the $6 controller when you just get one from G7 SE from Temu, yeah, except that controller breaks in like 1 minute. Like, what are you talking about? I'd rather spend $6 for a controller that's gonna last me 2 years than pay one that's like $7 from Temu. But the stuff is probably made with like asbestos in it. It's gonna be cancer in 3 years. Why spend more money when you could just spend less? Did you learn that in your personal finance class? Oh. I said from experience, bro, I game hard. I don't think you game hard as me. Why is Reddles under fire? I think they just want to make a trade. What's crazy to me is that, like, Genji is doing this, I feel like, from a financial perspective, because Reddles is incredibly expensive. The thing is, I say that, but I'm like, they're also targeting Justin potentially. And I'm like, that is even more confusing to me because Justin's probably more expensive in terms of his streaming and content creation that he makes. So it's just like an aging Justin over Reddles. Reddles is the glue of that team. He's the only reason that playstyle works as well as it does. So I have no idea why they would replace him. Personally, I would rather replace any member. I'm talking coach, I'm talking analyst, I'm talking like Magic Bear, I'm talking Cheese before I would ever touch Reddles. I'm being dead ass. Cheese has potential to be a great player, but he's way too inconsistent. Magic Bear has a lot of mechanics, but he also suffers from inconsistency. I don't think I've really ever seen Reddles have a bad series. Maybe not like peak, but definitely never seen him play and been like, wow, he really threw that. Like, he is the most consistent player on that team. He is the leader in the comms, and also, most importantly, he's the one that controls the flow of the entire rotations. If you kick him off, you have to completely retrain Magic and Cheese. And I just don't know if that works the same way. Especially since Reddles has gone through hell and back to be able to keep that roster together and keep it work, and the fact that they're just going to ditch him is kind of crazy. I don't think it's like an org decision. I feel like it's probably, or like a roster decision. It's probably more an org level. I didn't hear him at all drive through the corner there. That was interesting. I swear I just do not hear engines anymore in my stuff. Hear Taco say that vindicates my internal monologue? Yep. That's the only thing that obviously do to everything, keep that team together. That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys don't even know some stuff on the back end that he was doing. I only learned this through like leaks and sources that I have. But like, he did a lot to keep that team together and keep it work. He got them into first place in Shift Summer League over G2, and then never got to prove it in a playoff. And then beyond that, yeah, speaking of money that Bass and I will never see. Wait, what? Yo, let's go! The skim into the own goal. Banger. But yeah, it's like you guys don't even know the extent to which this guy was trying his absolute hardest to keep that team together, and after all of that, they're gonna ditch him. Like, dude, I would be the Joker right now. My chest swears I have a superpower for 4 signal goals. Also, chat, how does my voice sound? I turned on Elgato has a new AI amplified. This is the good AI, by the way. They have a new AI amplified thing that reduces my reverberations, like aka the echoing on mic and whatnot. And I was doing some voiceover with it earlier, and it was like, it sounded really good. So whenever I yell, let me know if you notice that there's like no reverb or anything. Because if this AI thing actually works that well, then I'm gonna be really impressed. You're talking as fast as me. Yep, schmexy as usual. Aw, thank you. So he seems like a good dude. I mean, yeah, from when we've hung out with him, like he's vibe. I also appreciate it because, like, I know a decent amount of the pros, but I'm not like, you know, I'm not like buddy with a lot of them. I just like, they know of me. Like, I met them at LANs or something, or like we've been at the VIP section at Worlds or whatever. But like, Veto's one of the few pros when he sees me, he's like, hey man, how you doing? And he'll like give me a fist bump. And I really do appreciate that. I feel like that's really, Arsenal, another guy, very good dude. In terms of seeing someone he knows and he's not just gonna ignore them and ego them. He'll take his time to say hello. I feel like that. Haha! Yeah, also being tested. There you go. That's how I do my mic check for CRL. We do a vocal, we do a 10 count. You count to 10 while you increasingly louder, and then all the way at the 10, I just yell as loud as possible. And that's how they know, okay, my compressor's working. It made you so quiet. That's funny. My yell was quiet. Okay, so I'm assuming this AI thing is actually just like a limiter at a certain point. That's actually really funny. Okay, so it definitely crunches me really hard at the top end. That's probably what it's doing artificially. But hey, for standard VO, that's probably fine, you know? That's the one thing I've been trying to work on more and more as I've been doing more voiceover work, is just making sure that the audio doesn't sound like it's in an empty room. Like, I have some stuff to reduce it, but it still kind of always comes through, so I'm like, need to hang like a blanket from the ceiling or something to fully reduce that. I was playing a viewer tournament, and I almost won back-to-back, buddy. You were locked in today. I don't want my yells to be quiet though, so I'm gonna turn off the AI thing, or at least turn it down. Ooh. Remember to like and subscribe. Great advice, buddy. Nice, teammate. I need to get back before I leave. I need to buy back. Oh, bye, Slaw. Sorry. I was so lost. Oh, they were saying I have to say goodbye before I leave. And I'm like, do you? You can just leave. Yeah, go. When you get a creator code, I'll have a creator code. The Danger Taco. The Danger Taco. On Fortnite and on really anything Epic. When you guys are buying something. Bass gets money from his creator code because people use his all the time in Fortnite, which is really funny. That's your true day rate from Fortnite. That might have died, but you made the connections that got you all those creator code purchases. Oof. All isn't Baskies known for Rock League? Huh? Baskies like Basilisk? If you want more songs than ours, search them up as a feature, like featuring Matt L. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Baskin? I'm not gonna lie, I do not know who Baskin is. Swamp Izzo. Hello, Base Chili. What have you been up to? Hey, 1DL Zelde. I'm SSL. What are you? Trying to get back to SSL personally. Hey, Balon, do you have info where the Coastal Clash going to take place? What? Didn't the Coastal Clash already take place? Oh, do you mean like Balon, like the Coastal Clash, like the Gen G one? I think it's at a certain university. They announced it in the Discord if you're in there. Wait, is this threes? Finally! How you doing, Balon? Yeah, right now we're chilling at like GC2, I think. Solo queue has not been kind to us the past couple days, so we're just trying to get back in the flow. Oh my god, it's Shazzy. They say the French are the best at this game, and yet, best players, a lot of them are from Africa, the Middle East. Keep in mind, chat. Drolly's Moroccan, best player in the world. Grand Plat 3? Nah, that I last checked. Oof. Thank you, Inferno. Yeah. As soon as he slowed down, I was like, he's either going to pop it, which is a mistake, but who knows at this rank, or he's going to fake. And then he faked, so. Oh, that was really far across the back post. I just kind of jumped because I was like, I don't really know how far across that is. I can't tell from that angle. That's how I define all Rock League players, the highest level. But are they French or they're not French? Hello, Scout. Your mess is going to get timed out because you don't understand the concept of not spamming emotes. This happens every time you come in here. Ooh, close one. No. Sad. Well, the place to put that. That's rough. Quest has that. Nice. Nice. All right. Someone say Kyle N. Not that I believe so. Not that I believe so. That's not a sentence. Man, I was playing the 50. I just straight up beat those guys. Not that I believe so. It goes hard like a brick to the face because it's so inelegant. Dude, these guys are challenging so late. trying to back pass to Quest, but he's so far back that I'm like, I don't know how hard I want to hit that. Sad. I've heard it both ways. Man, I love Psych. Showed my girlfriend it for the first time and she liked it. I also showed her the entirety of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated version. Bro, I wish I filmed her reaction to the final battle between Ozai and Aang. She was literally so locked in. She was like leaning forward on the couch the whole time. She was that locked in. I'm like, this is great to see someone who's like my age experience this for the first time and still just get as excited as I was when I watched this. And she's like, okay, I totally understand why people hype this show up so much. It's not just like nostalgia. Like this was actually like really engaging. What do you think of the movie? What do you mean there's no such thing as an Avatar: The Last Airbender movie? I could have sworn we were losing. Man, I was playing all panicked this whole time because I was like, oh god, we're losing, oh god, oh god. Well, there's a series that they made on Netflix, and there is definitely never a movie being made. That movie definitely does not exist. Because if a movie exists, it would definitely be good, and since I don't have any memory of a good movie, it must not exist. You know? Ooh, nice save. Netflix also kind of like mid. They took that to mid country. Oof. Definitely no good movie exists. That's what I'm saying. Oh. Cool. Quez, one more. Nice. Can I shout out my name? Hello, JJ King. What you up to? Bang, back post! Back post! Yo, they always jump too high. Netflix just gets new movies or people get Netflix to watch or rewatch it. But that's the thing is like you can watch Avatar on Netflix and it's great, but they made the new series and okay, I'm not gonna do full spoiler just because if you guys actually want to watch the new series from Avatar, go for it. I'm gonna say visually looks just about as good as I think I would ever expect it to look, but they basically just dumbed it down, which is insane because the original goal when they presented this to everyone was like, this is gonna be like the adult version. It's more gritty and it's got more violence and it's also, we're not gonna shy away from all this stuff. But then also they like changed all the characters to make them more one, like, they just basically mainline, or what's the word I'm looking for? They streamlined, let's call it, all of the character development arcs so that they don't really have arcs anymore and all the characters are really boring and predictable and lame. So they have no depth, which while you're watching, you're like, wait, why are these characters so uninteresting? And you realize, oh, it's because like they basically took all the fun parts of the character. Like all their flaws are not there. All these characters are basically flawless. And because of the lack of flaws, they're not interesting to watch or listen to. That's my global take without spoiling anything. Because I think while watching it, I'm like, this series looks great. And I gotta say, the actors they get are doing a pretty good job. But the lines they have to deliver and the way information is spoon-fed to you, supposedly the adult viewer watching the show is crazy. Especially when you realize the original Avatar was rated Y7. 7-year-olds watched that show and understood it. And meanwhile, we have to like dumb it down for adults. Like, what are we doing here? Like one of the things, okay, the small detail I'm gonna do to demonstrate this. So like, in the original, Aang runs away after learning he's the Avatar because he's overwhelmed and he's a kid. So he's like, I don't want to deal with this. So he runs away in the middle of a lightning storm because he needs to get away as soon as possible before they separate him from his essential father figure, Monkey Atso. But the thing is that in the new one, they didn't want to cover this internal angst at all. angst. So they just make him go, you know, I just need to clear my head. And he goes for basically a leisurely stroll with Appa through the clouds during a lightning storm. That doesn't make you an angsty teenager avoiding responsibility. It makes you an idiot. Imagine being like, I just need to take a walk during like a tornado. You know, it's like, that's the equivalent of what he's doing in the new one. Like, stuff like that is like, why? Why did you change that? You didn't even have to make it like that. You could have added in that he was still running away. But instead they deliberately scripted it like, oh, like, I just need to clear my head. I'm like, no, you don't. You're running away. That's fine. That's all you need to declare to the audience. And everyone will understand because you're a teenager. In fact, the fact that they're all teenagers is one of the best parts about the original show, because every time they do something impulsive or stupid, you think about it further and you're like, actually, no, that is what a kid would do. Like, that's what an idealistic teenager / preteen would do. And I kind of like that aspect because it's not about, you know, obviously the rational decision all the time. Sometimes it is like an unrealistic or kind of brutal realization, like, we can't save everyone. You know, you just got to maximize your good type of like rational thought process. But like, the kids aren't always going to grasp that because they're children. And I'm like, I kind of like how the show delves into that. Then the adult, yeah, I don't know, the adult version that Netflix made just doesn't have any of that. It's very weird. My bad. Could have been better, just too much CGI. I think the CGI was fine. I didn't mind it at all. And Fallout Saving Grace, I gotta say the Fallout TV show was raw. I really like that. Little, I feel like I didn't play too much into the humor that I know Fallout for, but I don't mind that. Everyone is killing those roles. Season 2 is gonna be fire as well. They added just enough like Fallout mythology to it while still adding in like a good human story line of like, you know, I love anything that makes you question like the humanity of like everyone when you're like watching people survive in the post-apocalypse and be like, yeah, what would you do to survive? Like, what weird crap would you sell your soul to do in order to make it work? I always like that. You watched Last of Us? I don't think I did. I'm not gonna lie, I love Last of Us as a game, but I don't know. I feel like I've seen Last of Us is very interesting as a game, but personally, I've never been into zombie-ish shows. Maybe I'm just too hurt by Walking Dead, but I don't know. I just never was like super interested in the idea with that. I know it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It looked bad. It looks very good, but I'm just like, I don't know. I kind of lost interest. I just lost interest in zombies. I'm so over zombies as like a post-apocalyptic setting. Oof. But I just stared at that one. Do you have a release date? No, but I'm assuming it's coming. It was very well reviewed. Unless Prime just hates everybody. Personally, I don't care if Apple TV and Prime loses $3 billion a year producing entertainment. If they're putting out top-tier TV shows, good. That's what a society should be. Arts shouldn't always have to be run at a profit, especially when your profit margins are absolutely massive. I feel like that's a great advancement of society. If we're just burning money, just creating great art, like, that's a flex, personally, as a society. It's tough. Hey, Squeed. Ooh, nice scoop. Anyway. Did my teammate touch the ball today? There's simply no way of knowing. It's like people rediscover the original series of... Oh, Avatar? Yes, I agree. High Club We're like 1670 right now. We've dropped a lot. Yeah, 1680. I actually don't know if I want to play twos if we're starting to get into these teammates. I think we've basically run even across all of our games today. The gall of my apartment complex to threaten eviction after my very first late payment on rent, to then send me the email, say, hey, refer a friend to live here. Just like, buddy. Hey, we almost ruined your life. We just someone else lives here as well. Like, I don't know. What do I get from it? I always thought the best way to run businesses like this are just to be human. Like, for example, like if you're like, I've known some people like some apartments are tricky in that if there's like a move-in offer, like, oh, half off your first month if you move in by this date, but you have to specifically request that. Like if you just apply and get accepted by that, they'll present you a lease without any of that in there. And I was one of these people. Sometimes you assume like, oh, well, that just means you'll give me a credit for the first month, right? But then they're like, oh, because you never asked for it, you didn't get it. I'm like, well, first of all, that's the BS that I have to ask for a promotion you're actively showing to everyone. But, like, I should be able to email a company and basically say, hey, you said to move in here. I have an email proof of this, blah, 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 blah. It's like, this is the discount. Can I have it? And they should just be like, oh, that's fair. You have proof that you did it. Okay, here's your discount. And then they, like, put in a credit for that. I mean, hey, it's Swampizzo. But they don't, because they're like, no, we refuse to do that. Or like in this situation where I was like, hey, I can pay my rent, but unfortunately one of my invoices is late because one of my people is not paying me on time. I can pay like a couple days late, but I'll be fine. I just got to give me a second. And instead they're like, what about if you died? And then they just tell you to go F yourself. And it's just like, buddy, when it comes down to reviewing this apartment at the end of the day or referring more clients to you or something, you know what's gonna make me recommend this place? If you just did the human thing of saying, yeah, no problem, we can give you a little bit more time. Or, oh yeah, no problem, we can get that fixed for you. Oh yeah, no problem, we can just do that. Because that's not a big deal to us. That does not upset our profit margins much. It really does very little to damage our profitability as a business, you know? There's tiny things like that. Like, go such a far, like a long way. And yet people routinely do not do those things. And I don't know. Kill you, shut up my name. Interesting, JJ King. Have you considered shutting your own mouth? Hello, Dolphin Whack. Been a while. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, but at least those 8 episodes, buddy, are like high quality and like long. I will say Severance Season 2 is very cool, but it was much slower than Season 1, which at times was cool, but other times I was like, it has been a while since you've been here. What you been up to, Dolphin? What? Ooh, thought he was gonna try to clear that a little bit up the line. Is this the Virginia Tech team? I think it is. I don't know Hoy or whatever this guy's name is. Hoey? Oof. FNCS Major 2? Yes. I just saw they're announcing drops for those. Man, that was questionable by me. Go Hokies. Yeah, UConn just won. Page going to the WNBA. And the league will continue to get superstars. Low-key insane how many good classes they had in college. But they had like four 98 rating recruits in the same year going to women's basketball. WNBA is going to be eaten. It's good for that league. Holy cow, it's Swamp Izzo. It is. Cool. Swamp Izzo assist! You said getting ready for Dolphin. Are you playing in it or trying to play in like the quals or whatever? Qualifiers? Oh, well, best of luck. Are you usually like a cash up grinder or something? Cool. Awesome. Win-loss ratio? I have no idea what it is today. I think we're 1-0 for threes, and I think we're like maybe maybe like 50%. Like 50%, maybe just beyond that for twos. Twos feels very like coin flip at this rank. Because you'll have a lot of like pretty decent players, but a lot of them are just like have no concept of what it means to like play fast and smart. So they'll just kind of like play solo plays only, and it usually backfires. What the heck was that lag bump? I got like hit off my wheels and then it like kind of went like back and forth for a second. I'm gonna be back? Okay. Oh. No! I wanted to get any pixel of a touch to prevent him from getting that. Okay, we're good. Not Fable being ready for that bounce. That's exactly why I wanted to hit it to the far side, because we're just gonna hit it right back in the middle. Throw. Unfortunate. Well, now we're 50% pretty much all game modes. Yeah, for reference on the meme I posted that I told you guys about. This seems like about what I think about the Gen G situation. And I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what's happening. Gen G's like, hey, get out. And Rebel's like, I don't even know if either team improves that move, if you just traded Reynolds and Justin. Oh no, we're playing Aura Farmer. This is UTK, isn't it? That's Tennessee. Oh. I'm mixing up two players. 50% is better than 49%? I get. What? I would take my eye for the ball for 1 second. So we're all incompetent. Interesting. Interesting. This is GC2. Interesting. Ah. Interesting. Good pick. But it doesn't matter. Oh my god. Okay. Ah. It's fair. Good scoop. Get that. Kiss is back. Carlo, I don't know why you say that every single time. You're the only Carlo Klodowski or whatever in my entire chat. Ah. Little misestimated. Alright, CSK again, the late lurk. Bonk. I just like saying that, do you? Oh, great save. And I'm going to cue dodge those two guys because I hated everything about what happened in the first 2 minutes of that game. Dodge Charger Daytona Scat Pack. What the heck? Hello, Para. Not well. Been a very stressful 3 weeks existing out here. You look mentally drained. Games like that will do that. We're having a good stream, like mood wise, for the most part. I was telling you guys about like irritating things that were happening, but for the most part, we're not doing too bad. It just games like that just remind me, like, ah, yes, we're in the gutters right now. Hopefully that was enough time to give me someone else. Yeah, I'm saying it's on the job. They asked me for it's a psychometrist position, so essentially I'm going to be administering neuropsychological and cognitive evals to people, which I've done before. So I gave them a list of like all the different stuff I'm like trained on, and also that I have history with, and that I know how to score and whatnot. And I told them also that like I might not know everything you guys do there, but I'm confident if you just give me an assessment booklet and give me like a day, I can usually learn how to administer pretty much all of those, or at least like they're usually similar in administration to other tests that I already know. So yeah, I just told them like I'm like supremely confident based on what you do that I'm gonna be able to do anything you need. And to be extra Weenie Hut Jr., I basically requested $10,000 lower than they were advertising, just because one, I'm desperate, but also two, they're already paying a pretty good amount, and honestly I don't need that much to get by month to month, but it would be nice to at least have something. And they didn't get back to me yet, so hopefully they're just evaluating, you know? What do you do? Wait, what? I got a good raise. I'm so surprised I'm still making 70K a year, and I don't pay rent yet. Carlo, hold on to that as long as possible, buddy. Save up. I know it's tempting to be spend that. Save up. Nothing is more fun than having a very filled money market account or like a savings account or something like that. Get a sip after all that yapping. Yeah, we do that. Carla, you were talking about working for a wait at your family's company, and now you're making 70K. Jesus. Glad your family's actually using its financial influence, generational wealth, and giving it to you. Glad you're doing well. Not, but invest on more, you can get more money. Well, that's the thing, is like save the money, like use it for something more solid later on when you grow up. Especially if he's still living at home and he's going to be doing that for a little bit, like he should be definitely saving as much as this. Stock guy's a nerd. That's what I've heard too, Andrew. How you doing? The double bump, that's so sad. First touch was kind of an overtouch, and I wanted to dunk him, and then the guy didn't even go for the dunk. Wait, how'd that get lobbed? Nah, that's a goal, probably. Never mind. Okay. Need a break from doom scrolling. Bing chilling out. Cast for all. Day one was pretty lit. We had 2 game 6s and 2 game 7s. I think one of them also was game 7 overtime for one of them. Next day was, I was not on though, but the game's pretty good. Grand final was a little snoozy. It was a 4-0. Unfortunately, like one of the teams got like cold at like the worst possible time. So it's kind of a cakewalk, but still interesting from like a storyline perspective, I guess. Working software developer to make more money. W feature? Good job, Carlo. Brother accidentally shot his thumb, by the way. That's why people shouldn't handle guns if they're not careful. Hopefully his thumb's okay. Can I know your IRL name? Stepbro wants to know my IRL name. Crazy. He's an army infantryman? Oh, I thought you meant just like he's just chilling. You know, he's just vibing. He shot his thumb off. I'm like, why are you Why is that? Are you even in a situation that could happen? LFAS Calamari. That is basically my name, according to Microsoft Word back in the day. I used to autocorrect my last name to Calamari all the time. It's only a word that gets remotely close in the English language. Well, I guess not English, but you know. Man, playing ranked today is like actually adjusted my anchor assumption about gameplay. I'm like not even paying attention to the score, and just by playing through, I'll be like just mentally keeping in track like where we're at, and if for some reason I always feel like we're losing in every single one of these games. Even though I know we're not, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, we're losing. Yo, what a pinch! Look at this. Bang! He thought someone was breaking into his house and slammed a door into his hand, holding the firearm, and it went off. He slammed the door into his own hand? That's rough. Bang. Yes, that is accurate, concern. That's exactly what the sound it made. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make light about that. That's pretty rough. Especially when it's a mistake, you know? Well, hopefully he's recovering, and hopefully it's not too much catastrophic damage. I'd be terrified if anything happened to my thumbs. How would I play my games? That'd be so much my hobby and lifestyle, like that would be completely out the window. My job. I don't even know who this is. Matt L really be waking up in the morning with this account, staring in the mirror for 15 minutes every morning. Who are you? I don't even know you. Shame. He's so mad he can't play right. Bro, that's what I'm thinking. Like if I lost my left thumb or right thumb, there's so much of gaming that would just be taken off the table for you. I'm gonna sound very spoiled, but saying this, but my dad says if I want next year, he'll let me borrow his vacation house in Hawaii so I can get some self-responsibility. Oh, Carl, that sounds nice. I'd like you to politely never mention that to me ever again. Yeah, let's go for one more. Now, Carl, love you, man. I'm glad things are going well, but like... it's gonna come off like a flex, even if I know you're just talking about objective facts about your life, you know? No, you're not saying anything wrong. It's just like, I don't know, like most people are not gonna have anywhere close to that level of access. So I just feel like, I'm not saying you shouldn't feel proud to come from a family that's that successful. I don't think you don't need to feel ashamed. What I'm saying is like, just be aware that when you're coming to a chat, it's kind of like, it's just a very like, I don't know. It's uncouth is all I'm saying. Congrats, like I'm happy for you. I'm just like, I just don't want, I'm coming off like, me and the chat have been talking about like how past couple months have been like very financially rough at times. So it's a little rough. You weren't aware of this, I guess, coming into the chat, but it's just kind of rough to be like, anyway, yeah, I'm making 70K and everything's going great, and I don't pay rent, and also I'm getting a vacation house in Hawaii. It's like, I get it. Time and place. No, because I don't ever want people to feel like they should be ashamed for that stuff. I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, time and a place to mention that. SMH Carla. No SMH. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I just feel like it's not something you'd want to bring up ordinarily, if especially if the chat is talking about how garbage the job market is and everything. You know. But W life updates. I'm very happy for you, Carlo. Hang on to that as much as you can. I didn't mean like that. No, I know you don't, but that's the thing. It's the same. Those types of comments are the same as the ones where people come in and be like, wow, chat's really quiet today. You know, like they actually, what they mean is like, huh, normally there's more viewers. Like, I'm surprised. I, you know, feel like there's normally more or whatever. But as a streamer, all I see is like, wow, streamer, person who's supposed to attract viewers, really doing a bad job at that today. Why are there no one here, streamer, whose job is to attract, you know, it's like that's how it comes off. Even though I know in their heart, they don't actually mean that. Just teaching you guys to be aware, conscientious of that. Certified Jinxies moment. I'm sorry. The stream is dead, Taco. There it is, Para. I knew it. I knew that was coming. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I prefer people just be direct. Taco, stream at Loki has been kind of dead. I've not been keeping up with content lately. I've been grinding a lot of other stuff outside of stream. It's been tough. I do feel like I've let you guys down a lot with my daily uploads have not been daily. And I'm trying to get those back on schedule, but I'm doing basically every time I'm not on stream, I'm applying to jobs or I'm doing data annotation, which is like $20 an hour type stuff. So it's like I'm trying to like grind stuff out stuff. Stop yapping about it. Like, no, you don't have to stop yapping about it. Just like, you know, like you've been given the W updates. I'm just saying like specifically the ones that are like about your family having a vacation house and how much money you're making every month. You know, it's like I don't need to hear that stuff. But like if you're talking about taking a trip or something, that's great. If you're talking about new hobby you got, something that happened to you lately, that's great. But it just when it comes to like a lot of that stuff, it's like I don't know. It's not necessarily what I personally want to hear, but I've also tried to like mitigate that as much in my own chat as same. Been trying to do like no one down. I mean, I do feel bad though, because like I do want to treat this like my job, but it's just like so difficult to be able to like do all that stuff and then also keep on track with everything else. So I don't know. I feel bad, guys. I'm still trying to keep it an active part of my thing, especially since once your content kind of drives off, the longer you let it sit, the worse it gets to climb back. So it's part of the reason I want to get consistent again. I just gotta get good again about having like a deliberate high. I don't know if any of you guys have ever get afflicted by that. It's kind of an American affliction of just being like, how do I optimize my time? What's the most efficient way of doing X, Y, Z? What can I do to da 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 da? And just like constantly in that mindset, it's very hard to like balance everything. Older, less demanding. What's that MS-DOS game? Cosmos Adventure about a green alien. I think I showed you guys this on stream. I logged a lot of hours in that game on my Windows 98 PC. Learning Arabic now? Oh, that's pretty sick. I like the way Arabic sounds. Very musical language. Nice. Freezing? I'm not dropping frames, so it might be you. Thunder Secco! Good afternoon, good afternoon. Stream getting laggy? I gotta check in with like, I gotta maybe update my YouTube vertical thing or whatever, because lately YouTube, you guys have been saying a lot that like the stream is laggy, and it makes me wonder if maybe the viewership is down lately, or I gotta check the viewer attention or something, because I genuinely feel like a lot of you guys lately have been saying, yeah, YouTube's kind of laggy, I came to Twitch because of it. And I'm just like, don't really like how people might be coming in being like, oh, I don't want to watch this, it's laggy, and then leave, you know? Like that's not the W marketing I want. But I feel like this didn't used to happen as much. A thing called a shower, is that a technical term? Way to update someone about how your day is going, or about how it's going in your life. half-second freeze? Interesting. Man, that was a really terrible takeoff by me. Chilling, eating dinner? I don't know what I want to eat for dinner. Damn it, I keep forgetting I have to defrost all this chicken in my freezer. I don't know how you guys defrost chicken, but I always hate defrosting chicken. I always like just making it fresh. I normally let it sit in the fridge overnight, and then if it needs to freeze more, I put it in like a warm thing of water in like a Ziploc bag, and then like let it chill there for a little bit. Spaghetti and garlic bread. Not so good. Love garlic bread. Been getting back into all my spice cabinets, and I gotta say, I've been treating myself like a garbage human lately. Like, discovering all the old spices I have just locked away in my cabinet that I can. Played soccer growing up. That was always the sport I was best at. Nice. So the military sit in the dirt, a base commander lays down with him, asked him if he knew what he was doing, and that was his response. Biggest tacos connection? I don't think it is. That's the thing that bothers me. Like, I'm looking at my CPU usage, it's super low. I'm looking at my frame drop. It peaked earlier and then it's been stable. So I'm like, that's why I'm like lost on what's going on here. Gotta also check what update I'm currently at. Nice. Hello, Cap Cutter. Are you a Cap Cut user, I'm assuming? Made something all soccer, something younger sister than tennis. Tennis is, honestly, I respect the hell out of people who are good at tennis. Tennis is exhausting. Anyone who can be good at tennis is like a god tier athlete, in my opinion. I think you guys underestimate how exhausting it is, not just running in around a field, but just cutting constantly back and forth, like how much violent muscle movement that requires. Fitness level of tennis is way different. My sister broke up with me for my cousin. Roll Tide. The lag drop? Nice. Roll Tide is a perfect response. I mean, it's a troll comment, so it's like... I can't get into golf as a sport. I think it's because I'm not wealthy enough. I feel like once you reach a certain like income level, you automatically find golf interesting. But for me, I don't have that interest. Every kid growing up in my neighborhood loved golf, but their families are also like all doctors and lawyers. Whoa, that was weird. I remember this one girl in our prom group convinced us to go to the country club for our pre-prom dinner. And I only realized until later that they were using us basically so they could pay their country club dues. And I was like, oh, what a dick way to use us. We were just gonna go to Taco Bell and save money, but she's like, no, guys, let's all spend $50 a meal or whatever for this mid-ass country club dinner. I'm gonna go taco. See you, Carlo. Have a good rest of your night. Good demo. I did Rao's marinara sauce. I've seen Rao's in stores. I haven't really tried it. I do feel like there's a lot of sauces try to go toward the middle ground, specifically because people are such freaking wimps with seasoning, especially Whitey's, you know, where they'll be like, "Oh, I don't like this sauce. It's too spicy." And meanwhile, you look at it, it's like a 3 on the spice scale, maybe. But it's like, nah, I want red pepper flakes in that, you know. I want some more oregano or something. So I'm gonna add like a bit of a kick to it, like a distinct flavor. I don't think there's a single store-bought sauce, for example, you can buy that out of the can. I think it's great by itself. The closest I think I get is there's a Alfredo sauce Bertolli makes that's creamy basil Alfredo. That, I think by itself, you could just eat straight up. Every other pasta sauce you'll have to add a little bit of something to it. Bertolli is my favorite brand, personally. But I also really like creamy pasta sauces, and all their sauces are very creamy. Flags back? Bruh. I really genuinely don't think it's my... I literally get like 300 upload. There's no shot that my, you know, less than 10 megabit upload for YouTube, and then my less than 10 upload for Twitch is actually making it lag. Yeah, we're gonna have to check the updates or something. Maybe I'm not performing at peak capacity right now with my plugin. Nice pass. What's your rank right now? We're a little bit lower than we normally intend to be. We're like a game or two off GC3. Yeah, we're 2 games off. Good to see Central Michigan University grinding. We like to see CRL teams in full parties and ranked. All right, guys. What do you think about this? I tweeted this out earlier. These are all the divisions that we should be having in CRL. Gator Zone is officially the Southeast, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, Great Lakes, Central Pacific, Cactus Land. That's the way it should be. Can I add you? Nope. I do not add anybody I do not know. Wow, you felt really low. Wow, Nevo, you were already over pursuing my touch. That's crazy. Good prediction by him, I guess. No! I'm sorry, JC. I wanted to pass that, but I flipped too early. Okay, dank. No, oh, my bad. I wanted to cut that so I could then flick it immediately, but went a little too hard on that Kurt. That Kurt. Oh, you're back. Welcome back, Dolphin. Oh, you just threw that forward. Bruh. That's insane that you pre-jumped that. I didn't even pre-jump it, he just kind of was around the ball. Hello, Royalty999. Not much, very stressful week, but trying to get into this new one and lock in a little. Oof, wow, I thought that was Ceiling and so did Fable. You could see him bail like very early on that one. Interesting. We'll never understand 50s like this. Was I actually that far on the inside of this? He went underneath me, of course he did. Of course he low 50'd me, because why wouldn't he? Big sad. Great Lakes Division, because I live in Michigan. Yeah, Great Lakes is a very, Ontario, Canada would normally be in that type of thing if it's truly by region, but Great Lakes has, or that division has very good Canadian schools that just actually won the championship for CRL. So being able to win that one, and then also have all the other really good teams in the Great Lakes area would be a little overpowered. You do cut caps? Interesting. Oh man, I had no more boost there. I thought that was going to be going across and expected to pinch that high. You selling our teammates? It's a weird question to ask, Dolphin. I'm gonna ask you to rephrase that. I don't think anyone's really selling here. Just we're playing against a full party of players who are probably in VC, since I know they're friends with each other. They go to the same school. So they're very good players. Fable's pretty underranked for this, to be honest. He's usually a higher ranked player. I know Dank, he's a good player. I do not know JC, but I don't think we necessarily got, you know, screwed over by anything here. Oh, JC. Oh, Dank. Oh, no. That's a shame. Am I the only one who thought RL2 leak was real? But if you really thought that's how they present it, no. Also, people got way too, like, I don't know. They jumped on that so quickly, but it was like the menu design was all off. Like the UI didn't really have a sense, like a sense to why it was put there. On top of the fact that the lighting was terrible, dude. People were like, wow, it looks so realistic. I'm like, nah, it looks terrible, bro. Do you see how brightly lit this field is? Do you think that's accurately lit to how it actually would be lit, considering there are no spotlights and the only light is the sun? No. You specifically have to ignore the rules of like accurate lighting because otherwise your game looks dark and awful. You're definitely not the only person, but like personally, that was the one thing that I was like, even if there's a test build or what they're trying to pass off as, like, no way the lighting would be that dog. Just purely in engine, no artistic touch at all. Oof. How about, speaking of looking dark and awful, how about them stonks? I do not want to touch on the stock market, dude. Luckily, I have no money in it because why would I? I mean that from a financial funding. I have no money to put in the stock market, let alone put into a savings account, so. I was listening to a TED Talk today, and the guy was talking about how he got really lucky because, like, it was basically how money was handled after the recession. And he said he was able to buy Netflix stock, like thousands of units, at $10 a share. And I was like, my God, dude. The amount of cash that just guy raked in off of just that alone. Yeah, he just threw like 25K into Netflix and then just went from there. My 401k turned into 240K. Yep. I might be high. I don't remember them scoring twice. Oof. Well, it helps if we actually try and defend. Fake? Oh, you actually went for that. Interesting. The ones where people worked for, say, Amazon in the 90s, got paid in stocks, just forgot about them, and they're worth millions today. And the stories are like, wait, why can't this happen to me? Exactly. I wish I got some random frickin' stocks dropped into my account, and then I just forget about them, and then one day you check. That's literally what happened to my classmate I told you guys about. His dad bought him 1,000 shares of Bitcoin or whatever, or not shares, units or whatever of Bitcoin. And back when it was like, you know, not too expensive. Like very, very early days, because his dad was like, this thing's gonna be huge. And of course, back then he was like, your guys are psychos. He forgot about him. Like several years later, he checks in, Bitcoin's at like 40K or 30K, 70K or something like that. And he's like, oh my God, and immediately sold all that stuff and retired at 21. And I'm like, man. And it might surprise you to find out that that kid who had got all that money was not a good person. In fact, one of the worst people I knew. Okay, that kind of worked, but... Bang, Elsig. Nope. Your save corrupted? What the heck do you mean save? It's a cloud storage. Or at least in Steam it is. Okay, doable. Said they'll teach me they don't know how to play. Points out among the crappiest people tend to live the longest, like J. Jordan refuses to die. It's incredible. I mean, it also helps when you're a billionaire, you know? For spending probably $1,000 just to stay alive every day, taking top of the line meds. You know, the rich people meds? Wakes up, get a shot in the ass of Immortalis, the drug that denies you actually dying a mortal death. Unporium, yep. Yeah, it's like concierge doctors are kind of like good accountants. A good accountant doesn't manage your money like responsibly. They're the ones that find a way to like have you paying no taxes because you're Beanie Babies or dependents or whatever, you know? That's a goal. Nice, let's go. That's stupid. About concierge doctors the other day. There's a lot of them in the Hamptons. My buddies grew up there, around there. They said there's a lot of doctors who literally their whole practice is just being very discreet, treating rich people in their mansions. The show Royal Pains, if you guys remember that on USA Network, was based off of those people. Like, obviously it's not exactly like that because the show is a TV show and it has to be really fast-paced and exciting, but like, it was kind of like that. Like when everyone learned how to do the cool stuff, that's funny. Nice. If we win this after coming down from 3-0, this is going to be the most hilarious game. Cool. Can't demo those guys, it's fine. Ooh, we backflip. Nice job, Elsig. Come down, take a 50. No! Lucky he saves that. Nice. 50? Or double? Nice touch, dude. Okay. Let's see. Fake. Close one. Eated soap. Sorry, I would have passed that, but I could not physically get to that ball in time. Jab. No! I got there a little too fast and I didn't adjust well to that. All right, chat. We're slowly throwing away chances here, chat. Dangerous Gambit going all the way up to get boost. Go, Sig! Deliver us! Bro, this is a tense game. Man, I was like, back in my mind, I was like, I don't think he read that. It looks a little off. I should have trusted. Should have trusted. Okay, didn't quite work. It's fine. Figured that wouldn't work. Oh boy. Wow, he even played that soft touch just high enough. Man, if I stay on the wall, maybe? Hate that. Oh my god, I hate that. No, it's Coach Man Rocket? Buddy, coaching is a time expensive thing. People aren't just not going to give it to you for free. Man, that one guy, H, keeps beating me to all the aerials. He's the hard carry. Alrighty. I was trying to shoot that. I was wondering if they would go extra high to prevent my double or something. Nice! Let's go! 6.5 minutes, 4 goals unanswered. Woo! What a match that was! Yes, I was happy with it. How you doing, Zenom? Excited to see a gamer like yourself here. I saw him go with the bump on him. I was like, maybe go for a slow double there. How about you? Life been kicking me in the nuts lately, but we're getting back into it. Gotta find our rhythm. Oh, Maybe being a bit too cute with these touches, especially when I'm not even grabbing the boost. My brain just turned off. Did not expect that guy to whiff that hard. But also, that's a weird recovery. He was like desperately trying to get in front of it. Like, buddy, there's no challenge. Remember me? Vaguely DW. Eh. Thought that was a faster challenge by them. Oof. I was trying to bump him. Hard to find a coach? Well, yeah, because people want payment for coaching. And if they don't, they probably don't advertise themselves. It actually is very easy to find a coach. It's just that you're wanting one for free, which is way different. How did I go underneath and almost save that? Got on the 3s grind? I've been grinding a lot more 2s, but 2s, unless you're at least like 1775, I find is incredibly horrible to queue. It's kind of like a coin flip whether you're gonna get someone who can aerial. So these games are like very tilting. So I'm playing 3s right now just because they're a little bit more manageable, at least in my experience. Sometimes a day, I swear there are like rhythms of players you get into, where like all the kids who are like got back from school or out of classes or whatever, and they're trying to game and they're just like so tired they can't actually focus or like drive in a straight line. But that only comes in like waves. And once you get past that, you get into the people who are actually awake, have dinner in them, you know? Nice. My name used to be Dylan. Well, my name still is Talk. So how about you make up your mind, Dylan? Good. I wanted to demo him. Go straight. That's literally it, Zen. It's just me waiting for a good day where I'm like, I'm in a good mood. I also like, you know, car feels good, touches feel good, etc. That doesn't happen with 2 players somehow not touching it. Are you good? I mean, what does that mean? I've been SSL multiple seasons. Did you figure out what was wrong with your car? No. I haven't taken it into the shop because I do not have the $500 likely that it's going to cost to get that inspected and fixed. I have been living a very car-free lifestyle for several weeks now. Ever queued with or against pro? Yes to both. I'm buds with Calm. I have a YouTube short actually that we were playing together. That's in on its own? That's crazy. Wait, no, I didn't take a bite of this protein bar! Alrighty. Overtime! Wow, that's 2 straight games, chat, where we've had a comeback. That's crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Wait, if you're level 10, you do not need a coach. You just need to play the game. Coaches are for when you get to like plat, in my opinion. Before then, you're not really going to get that much value out of a coach. Because you need to master the basics of the game. Then once you get to that point, then you'll get to plat, which is much more importantly about decision making. In gold, you can kind of just mind your own business and you'll be able to score. Yeah, a lot of people have that, like, they're silver and they're like, I need to get a coach. You're like, no, you don't. Like, no, it's like, I need to learn how to get better. I'm like, no, you know how to get better. You need practice. Like, if an aerial's coming in, like, if you can do this consistently, and, like, well, not maybe this, but, like, if you can literally just pop the ball up twice, jump for it, and then consistently hit the ball forward with power, you're already, like, better than pretty much everyone else. And then obviously the next part is going into like custom training and like actually trying aerial workshops to practice on your aim through the air when the ball's moving around, you know? Level 1400, I'm still horrible. Well, Rocket League's a game that takes a lot of insane muscle coordination. So through a lot of concerted practice, you'll get better at it. But a lot of people feel like they're supposed to just play and they'll immediately get better. But it's like, no, Rocket League is insane in terms of how much muscle coordination you need. Muscle memory and coordination. So when people try to play for like a couple of 100 hours or thousands of hours, and they're just like, why am I not improving fast enough? I'm like, well, you're probably not practicing. You're probably playing a lot, but you're not actually practicing. When you're playing in this game, you're moving around a lot, obviously, because your left stick is going, blah, 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 blah. But the biggest issue with that is that you're not actually practicing. Like, if you're trying to get better at air dribbles, you're getting like a couple air dribbles every day, but you're not actually getting like practice to the point of like drilling it like over and over and over and over and over. You know how you do that? You do it in custom training, you do it in free play. That's why people talk about being a free play main, because you can just goof around and work on stuff over and over and over, like whatever you want to work on. Versus in a game, you might not really get to know what you're going to be able to pull off game to game. POV, you just read a chat, it's a POV? Edax. I did indeed. You know me so well. When are you oiling up? At 100k subs. Nice. That was a really lame pass, but it may work. I knew the first thing you showed me? Well, then you just gotta keep getting better. Oh. That was a sequence. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. Try to fit that underneath, but obviously not work out the way I intended. Close one. This game was kind of mid. I think going backwards is pretty goof. I personally like the three-wheeled mode. I think that was really funny just to watch everyone turn, like crash every single time they tried to make any type of turn. Man. You could actually get good at it? Yes. It's what makes Rocket League so pure. Am I not friends with Comp? Wait, it didn't say it? Oh. Hey, let's go. Okay, we got Comp. I was about to say, I'm like, Comp, I know after that game, Comp is going to be tilted. I hate rank 3 so much. Join the party, brother. Join the club, buddy. Rocket League is that game where everyone hates but still play it. No, I don't think people hate it. I think it's just a frustrating game because it's I mean, it's a game that, like, at the very least, I think feels especially frustrating because you know it's not skill, luck-based. Like, it is 100% based in skill, but at the same time, that makes it even more frustrating because that means when you're losing, you're like, yeah, it could be because the other team is really good, but also because my teammates blow. So I think that's why it's, like, so aggressive. Especially since, I will say, the culture of this game has slowly evolved to be very individual focused, and I hate it. But we tried. It's insane that Backwario actually made a whole shtick about that. Insane way to play, but I respect it. So isn't that Collegiate Rocket League? It is. National Championship was just, or rather Spring Championship was just this last weekend. Flags vaulted by Taco and everyone. Bye, Blueberry. National Championship. Okay, bro, it's so hard not to say that, but it's also funny to think about because it just also just doesn't make sense because it's a national championship in our minds, but we have Canada, Mexico, you know? So it's like, it literally, by definition, cannot be national. It's just so hard to say that, because it really does feel like a national. Bass subs so much. Bro, it's like ingrained in our brain so hard. Technically, international championship would go hard as well. I feel like we should just be saying North American Championship. That's like accurate while also not being saying national or international or anything. We have nothing to do with college and Rocket League. You guys do have Collegiate Rocket League teams and whatnot, but unfortunately, scholarship funding for that type of stuff is non-existent, and there's a lot of leagues that are lesser funded. Sonics used to do CRL in Europe, but dropped it as the budget got cut. Hopefully we can return to that. That was very cool. Unfortunately, the infrastructure for Collegiate is just not... They're like, Collegiate Esports just not as big of a deal across the pond as it is in the US. Fast 8, Seb 2, yep. Oof. Good reset. That's painful. People playing Zero predict to go pro? No, you're thinking about it from like a North American pro sports thing. Most of the players who play in Collegiate are already like kind of past an age where you typically enter into pro level sports. We have some pros who are playing as a pro player and also in Collegiate, but yeah, you're not restricted, and it's definitely not a developmental league. Imagine entering the pro scene at 22. A lot of pro players are retiring at that age. It's mostly seen as a thing to do in parallel. I personally think that Collegiate should be kind of treated like academy. Like if we can develop it, and orgs can start like a partnership like Gen G does with colleges, I think that would actually be a really good ecosystem, where like colleges basically are used as like an incubator for like promising rosters. And so you can go and play in like high level stuff, get your degree. Because just like professional sports, like everyone who plays in D1 soccer, for example, they're not gonna go pro. Or a D1 football or baseball or whatever. Like they're not all gonna go pro. Like a lot of them are gonna just have to get jobs. So you're gonna need that degree. I think it's the same with esports. Very few people who play esports professionally and who can actually retire off that alone. Call it Rival Series, man. I would love a tier 2 again. What is happening? Sada is getting the best touches of his life, dude. No, Quez, I was kind of hoping you didn't cut all the way across the field for that. Oh, cool. Man, that was a thing where I was hoping Quez would pass. Wait, they scored I don't remember their second goal at all, chat. Was I high for that? I'm very lost. When did genuinely? I'm asking. Like, when did they score their second goal? I remember their first one was like first kickoff, but after that, I was like, I have no idea when their second one was. Unfortunately, that pass was directly at him. He could not run into that with any amount of power. Well, yeah, Edex, but that's my point. That what you just said is the basically like, what, people can't live off the NFL stuff? Well, I bet, you know, freaking Patrick Mahomes can. Well, yeah, because he's a top performer in the pro league. There's so many, but like a vast majority of people who go pro are not gonna be able to retire off esports winnings or salary. So I think you should go to college, get your degree. Fight Taquito. Hello. There we go. Nice pass. Alrighty. We're getting there. Mountain West Conference while SDSU swept Washington State. Sounds like them. Shout out 5 stars. Oof. Glad you actually pulled that out of your ass right there. The crazy save. Come on, buddy. You, me, and everyone else knows that that's Mario Kart with a K. Jabobber? What the heck is that name? Yeah, it depends on the esport. Rocket League is a very young esport. Like, average age of all players is like 17, 18. Probably slowly getting older by now, but for the most part, it's very young. And a lot of players, once they get to like, J Namps is the oldest player like ever before he retired, basically, and he was 24. Com's mad at you all third. I mean, yeah. Quest has all these solo plays that aren't paying off. There's the double. There's the double. Turn 19 chance already cooked. Well, if you think it like that, you're dumb. Just, you can improve, but you got to be concerted. I always love when people are like, I want to go pro, and like, cool, do you want to do custom training? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, well then, kiss thy ass goodbye. Do you have any idea how many pros just grinded away custom training and like free play for like dozens of hours at a time? You know? Like, they're dedicated to getting consistent AF, and that's why they're so good. Ooh, I had like a bit of this granola bar like behind the gums of my molars. I was like, damn, I gotta like scoop that out. That was gross. Whoa, I ran out of boost right the last second. I did not expect that. Ah, well, I didn't read that. Eated so barely read that either. Fortnite is definitely a young esport. Yep, it's probably the youngest. That's why the scene is very mature. Because everyone's like 13 to 15. Well, not everyone, but like a lot of people. Almost a clean airable. Nice comp. Did not expect him to let that one go. Oh, no, 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 no. Dude, I thought the post was like a pixel away, so I had time to turn around it and I freaking inverted myself. That's so body of me. It's fine, we get it back right here, crossbar. Ah. Nice shot, wow. What do you think Genji move? Do you think Reddles will retire if he can't find a team? He'll find a team, I think. I think content-wise to an org, he's very attractive, but also in terms of actually player ability. I mean, he won a regional, and he is the most consistent player in an IGL for a roster. Very hard to find a player like that, even if he's not going to be the most mechanical player. I think there's chances he can find a team. Whether or not it's an ideal team for him, that's obviously up in the air. I don't even know if it benefits him, or if Shopify Rebellion or Genji benefit if they just trade Justin Reddles. I just feel like Genji has something really good that they can continue to build on. The fact that they're calling it quits is kind of crazy to me. think they might stick. I think it makes sense to stick. I just don't get why you would trade Reddles for an even older Justin, you know? Like, Justin's good, but, like, are you really getting a leg up by getting him versus just keeping Reddles and keeping the chemistry you've taken 2.5 years to build? Nice. Probably looking for short-term success. That's the thing, like, if you're gonna use that, you should be recruiting, like, personally, I want to play, like, Calm to land on somewhere like Shopfire Rebellion. I think Calm is a great player who elevates everyone around him, and therefore, but is also very mechanical and a tricky player, and I think he could definitely fit in wherever. But, like, the fact that they're going for, like, just a full trade away from the Justin project of it all, just, like, I don't know, man. Like, Justin may not be prime Justin anymore, like, arguably best player NA, you know? But he's still a good player. And Reddles honestly might not be, like, one of the best in NA, but he is definitely a very high-level player that has a lot of skill and, more importantly, experience, composure, and leadership that you can't teach. Bedridden and through pain? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Birdie. I didn't know you were suffering like that. Well, some of that is also based off the system they're playing in Serpetigus, you know, like, I know Rawgag and Kevpert have been hard at work trying to design a system of rotation and movement for them that works, and it does work. Like, they found a rhyme and reason, like, what they're trying to do. My issue is that, like, they're trying to screw with that now. I'm like, that system works because of who's in it. You can't just swap out a player and teach them the same movements and expect it to work, you know? Player tendencies are huge. I'm your dad. Flip reset into the dunk. Oop, with the butt. With the butt. NGL? I eat it as soap. Oh, dang. Genji Shop, I feel like they have the same veteran leader with Reddles Justin. Yeah, except Justin isn't like an IGL. Like, Justin's just a really good player with experience, which is different. Like, I don't think Justin's the one in the comms barking at everyone being like, step it up, I want to do this one, I want to see out there. Like, you know, like, Reddles, there's so many in-game comms where, like, that is what he's doing. And that's why I think he's important. Because he's not just yelling at people, he's, like, giving instruction and, like, cheering up his team and being goofy. Whereas Justin, I feel like, is very much like, yeah, he's, like, a lighthearted guy, but he's not the one going to be the leader of that team or whatever. Wave. Hello, Bryce. Zed must have an insane amount of hours of free play to his consistency. I mean, you talk to Squishy. He was the first, like, very mechanical pro. And when you talk to him, you're like, what did you do? Yeah, it's because of the AI thing. I'm gonna turn it off, I think. But yeah, when you talk to him and he said, like, oh, what'd you do in the beginning of this game? He's like, well, for a while, like, my internet didn't work and it was so bad that I couldn't play the game. So I literally just free played. I would just sit in the game and free play and just practice free playing over and over and over and over again. You just do random stuff, work on my air dribbles, work on my aerials, just constantly be pushing the ball around. And that's, in his opinion, why he got so good so fast. Because he was just solidifying his mechanics so early. You're the best player? Thank you, the king. Oh, sad.
Nothing makes sense. Thought I told you I've been trying to reach over the fence. I try even when I shut down. All I want is to give this a meaning. When I move, let it
Video private match? No. Sorry, the thing is, the game was much easier back then. Well, that's all relative. Well, you say that wouldn't have been as much to learn, and yet he still stood out, which means no one else was doing that much, you know? Talk is in the transfer rumor? Yeah, the entirety of, I mean, Evo's basically, like, not talked about at all, because I don't really know if he's that hot of a commodity, but Talk is definitely an upcoming player. Him and Kofor are, like, the two, like, young players that everyone kind of looks at. Calm is just, like, a veteran. I mean, he's kind of old, but I still love how he played. I think at times he was, like, the best player on OG. You also get his parents, which is a great addition because they're great. They're great super fans. Any org would love to have. Play FH5, is that Forza? Okay. But you'd love to see oily men drive a car? Yeah, seriously. We have to oil up and then sit right down into the sim racing setup. Oof, not a good read. I just bought this account while I was at membered. I knew it. I knew Matt would sell it for the clout. Hey Seth, right now we're like one game off GC3 again. Unbuy the account, exclamation point undo. I'm sorry, Doc, you might actually be mentally insufficient right now. Always makes me laugh when people watch me beat them to a read by 9 minutes and they still go for the original read, and then I fake it, and then they get hit. And I'm just like, buddy, like, why are you still going for that? You just basically, like, confirmed that you're gonna miss that, and then you still went. Because you didn't even, I didn't think he assumed I faked. I think he just, oh, whoops. That was a weird one. Bounces a little further out than I thought that 50 would be. Compton, believe. Ugh. All these whiffs and kind of weird touches, getting kind of strange. Bruh. How to change my name to Les SFA? Don't even go there, Matt. Oh my gosh. That'd be crazy if Legend saved up money just to buy Matt All's account to infiltrate and then immediately ruined it by saying he's Legend. Then just gets permabanned. I don't get a reset on that, but I almost got an own goal. Near post, all three of them. Wow, Duck, that was a good pick. I'll give you that. And then Rad just kind of took that flick. That was crazy. Not even a shadow attempt. He just stood still and was like, yes, please, take this shot. But you have 100 boost, you're not going to shadow that once? That's crazy that Rad also dove away from that one. Up for it. Trying to pass down to Comp, but I think Comp was at that moment thinking, okay, I should get out. Bad timing. How'd that sequence work? Hey, Lucas, twos. Rad, what are we doing? But he's like rolling it right down the middle every time. Like, why is that your touch? Okay, good fakes by them. All right, well, good night, everybody. I'm gonna peace out then. All right, GG's, brother. Next time we plus 400. Good luck in twos. All right, well, good night, everybody. I'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna go try to figure out the rest of my evening and put together the pieces of this life. Anyway. Peace out. Thanks for the love. Drop a like and sub if you're new, and we'll be back probably tomorrow.